Melcifer spends some time around town, preparing his army, checking on his cult, and awaiting his nightmare. Hunters bring him the corpse of a messenger with a letter from Pinespur. They are willing to surrender a large portion of Gade Isle in exchange for peace. Melcifer raises the messenger as a zombie and possesses it to deliver his reply to Pinespur. When he arrives there, however, he learns that the ruler has died, and with no clear line of succession, an aged sheriff has temporarily taken leadership. Melcifer delivers his message in public so that all can hear. His terms are simple: bend the knee to accept Melcifer as their leader. He returns to Winter's Reach and prepares his army to march. He also gives his burgeoning cult a little practical experience by letting them participate in the ritual to finally raise his nightmare. When his army arrives at Pinespur, he finds the gates firmly closed and the cowardly summer children cowering behind their walls. How long can the living hold out against the tide of the dead? What is next for Melcifer after he conquers Pinespur? Will he make worship of the winter gods mandatory? Let's find out now on Dicing with Death.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dicing with Death.
Yo.
So, we've just heard the recap of where we are here. Is there anything else we need to say, or should we just pick right back up where we left off?
We did leave off in the middle of a battle.
Yes, we did.
Start of an initiative round.
It was the humans' turn, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Certainly nothing has changed since last week, right?
Other than, you've moved. And
a whole mile. And I don't think our viewers particularly care about where I live. And those viewers that do care...
shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But isn't it fun that moving a mile or 5 miles is the same amount of hassle?
Not true. We should have done a pre-show, because now you're here asking me these deep philosophical questions.
Is that what passes for a deep philosophical question?
Or rather mundane questions.
All right. Well, why don't we skip the mundane questions and hop right back into our combat? Yeah. I believe it was the humans' turns when we left off. And we're going to start with the cavalry coming in from the flank. They will take a careen to the side and then charge like that, hopefully overrunning and passing through. But we'll see how their attacks fare. Alrighty, let me just look up our overrun mechanics and everything. Nice. First off, they're going to make a roll to hit.
Can you get off of my token, or I can move my token? Whoops.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. Go back to where
you were.
Read.
So these are skeleton warriors. Let me check my... whatever spreadsheet. Regular skeleton warriors do wield spears. They were not firmly set to receive charge, but
these are not the bowmen?
These are 2 companies of spearmen guarding a group of bowmen. So the cavalry charges for the bowmen and collides with a group of skeletal spearmen.
Shit!
Who have not acted in the battle. I would like a roll to see if they can whirl around and set their spears to take double damage against these horses.
All right, give me a perception check by Melcifer to see if he can spot the cavalry coming in time.
If I was if I could micro all of my units optimally at the start of the battle, I surely would have set them to receive charge. But
of course, but these are throngs of undead, and you have to micromanage them individually. It's messy and chaotic.
I think I did say there is a specialist amongst them with orders to command them strategically in battle.
You do see it coming.
Perception check, so maybe this is the specialist. acting on behalf of Mousefur. So I think this group of spearmen whirls around to at least face the oncoming cavalry charge and take their opportunity attacks prior to resolving the overrun.
So yeah, there's the attack roll that the cavalry do. Then there's the opportunity attack by the spearmen. Then there is the
I think
overrun.
it's the other way around, but damage will probably all occur regardless.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
I think if you right, because they have to first enter the square.
Right. Okay. So let's just make our attacks right now. You make your opportunity attack.
Yeah,
your set to receive charge.
Combat rules.
And I will make my attack roll.
Ooh,
18 is gonna hit.
Bonus, and I think. Oh, this is not correct actually. So these guys are using spears, so I'll need to re-roll damage. But I think I can persuade you to letting me do double damage. Because they
are setting to receive a charge.
So that is D8 damage, but I don't have long swords for
right.
all.
It should
only
be,
my blood knights have the long swords. Yes.
It should be 44, right?
Yeah. So 44 times 8. So 4 times 8 is 32 d4s.
32 d4 plus nothing.
Plus 8.
No. There should be no bonus at the end of it. They don't have bonus to damage, do they? They might. With
Skeletal Warrior. This is the first level of Skeleton Warrior. I mean, so that longsword attack is at +2 per. So I think they fight at +2 to damage. But I can check the
Necromancer, Skeleton Warrior, 1d8 +2. Yeah, so it should be 32 d4 plus 16.
86 points of damage. I think the horses, even if a bunch of them die, will still do damage to the skeletal warriors, right? Even if it's their bodies being hurled, their lifeless bodies being hurled across the spear. They'll still crush skeletons.
Okay, so
this is likely against this is against the mounts, not against the knights.
Oh, right. So this would be damage to the horses. Yeah, because you're setting.
So
okay.
I don't think you have horses on as a token, but so
I don't. But
horse HP, shred the horses, and then make your overbear attack. Okay. And if they keep riding, I mean, they'll ride through the archers, which I guess won't get an attack opportunity. There's another spear of skeleton warriors adjacent. So return fire.
So the horses have 128 HP.
Okay, so about half of them die in the charge, about half of them continue charging.
All right, so the attack roll is going to be a 1d20. They're third level knights, so their base attack bonus is 2, but they're on horseback and charging, which brings their bonus to 3, +3. So they roll at d20 +5 for the.
I think they get +2. They get +1 for the high ground. I think it's +4 is my good. They get +2, +1 for charge, +1 for high ground or for being mounted. So 4.
Right. 5. No, 2 for level, 2 for charging, 1 for mounting.
Oh, charge is 2. Okay, 5.
Yeah. So, God, they better roll well here, otherwise it's going to be embarrassing.
Yeah.
So the horses...
I think they unknowingly collided with a group of spearmen. Right? They were like, there's the archers, we're running them down. And then little do they know, like the front half of what they thought it was like 24 archers.
Yeah.
8 spears whirl around, plant themselves in the dirt, but the knights see this, I'm sure, as they're charging
at the last moment.
But they don't make it, and they just run over
their horses get skewered. Their attacks all whiff. They pile up. I think the overrun still goes off. I don't know.
I think they missed the overrun, then it doesn't do its damage, right?
That wasn't the overrun. That was the knight's attack.
Oh, that was the knight's attack.
That was the swords attack from the knights.
Still roll for the horses.
Yeah, okay. The overrun also provokes an attack of opportunity.
That's what this was. That's what I thought I was rolling.
Okay, fine. Okay, so then your skeletons make a save versus paralyzation. And on a fail, they are knocked prone, and the attacker makes a roll to hit, dealing 1d4 per size difference. So a d20.
That's interesting. I don't know what my skeleton save is.
Let's see. They have 12 HP, so they should save as like a second level warrior, maybe.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but I'll roll a d20, and if it's not like a 17 or higher, we're probably screwed.
14 is what they need. 14 or
14
higher.
14 is what I get. So they don't take damage from the overrun.
Right. Yeah, so instead the horses just get skewered and come to like a stop on the ends of the spears. The knights try and make their attacks. It doesn't go well, and half the horses die.
Yeah, so the skeletons roll out of the way as the horses get impaled on spears. I think they can keep riding through, leaving a bunch of horses and dismounted knights in their wake, or they can come to a colliding stop or something.
Yeah, does that mean? I guess I'm going to split this company into two groups. The mounted and the unmounted.
Yeah.
So you're going to be
mounted can keep riding, and if they're clever about it, they can ride through these archers that don't have like melee weapons to take aways, and end their turn wherever they end their charge.
Right. So
provided it's in a straight line.
The small one is going to be the dismounted knights. Actually, I'm just going to use a regular knight token for them because they're dismounted now. They have 4, and it's only half strength, so there's only 80 here. And then the regular mounted ones are going to wheel about this way.
So in a charge, you can only move in a straight line. So they can keep charging and end their turn anywhere along this line. Or wherever they charged from, but they can't like move and then whirl around.
Right. They came here and they were charging at this way, so they'd hit a flank. So I think they just keep coming through in this direction.
So they might have just rode through another group of spears. I don't think they would. I think they could probably alter their path enough to not provoke more ways.
I think they just pass by, and half the group moves on in that direction.
You should calculate exactly how far, because they may be within running distance of the skeletons behind them. So calculate how far off screen they were, how far they.
Right. Okay. So movement rate. They're probably not fully. It's probably 18 movement rate because the horses are probably slightly encumbered by the riders and their armor and everything. Times on a charge, you go 150% your movement rate. So times 1.5. Times 10 times 3, so they can go 810 feet, and they started up here, so they went here to here, let's say to 400 here, and then 400 gets them to here. They have another 400 feet. I guess they just keep charging that way 400 more feet, so let's say they're 300 feet off screen now.
Okay, so they've been, Mountain Knights move pretty far.
Yeah. Oh boy, not so well for the humans. I really thought these knights were going to come in and just fuck up your bowmen and rip them to shreds.
If the dice had rolled the other way, they probably could have taken out a spear of bowmen. Well, they fucked up. And
if they had realized those weren't all bowmen, they would have been in better situation. They were dum-dums.
The rest of the bowmen are over there on the right hand, the eastern side of the eastern flank.
Oh, yeah. They're probably... Well, I should roll to see if they can even notice in the confusion of battle. Natural 20 on the perception check. 1 on the attack. Okay, they find their true enemy for next round.
Well, I guess. There's spearmen amongst those bowmen, too.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. Now at the front. These are the lower knights. The trellis is gone, right? That was being used to climb these guys up?
I think the knights, dismantled it before, broke through, or I don't know.
Okay.
Destroyed the ladder, right?
Whoa, what are the knights going to do now? They're going to take a step back, let some spearmen replace them. And then the other spearmen that have arrived are going to come on up. This group is going to climb a wall and engage. This group is going to try and climb and fight up against them. It's going to be a tough battle.
Are they moving through an allies square, or is there not already someone up there?
There's no one else right here.
Okay.
So those two go there. What else did we want to do? These guys had fallen down, right?
So you're doing all the movement first, and then
I want to get the movement done. These guys are grounded, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
The only skeletons on the wall, I think, is that one spear of Blood Knights.
Sure. We will get... once again, I'm going to do half on, half off for groups that are, like, crouched down. So you can probably see through the parapets, like, the spears of other soldiers arriving up on the wall. Some of them, like, moving to the high ground areas. Other ones just kind of, like, getting nearby. Let's see. You'll see a group over here. Maybe a group over here. The bowmen are gathered together. There's a group and a half of bowmen. They will... I don't think they can fire on... Let's see. These guys are on the flank. These guys are coming up the front. I guess that means there's maybe a small shot between them. I'm going to give these skeletons a little bit of cover from all the... Oh wait, this is the wrong thing. This is a bowman. We need a spearman up here. There we go. Got my tokens confused. There we go. So we will get 3 groups, 2.5 groups of bowmen firing at the skeletons.
Okay, cover. So they get 1 attack. So it looks like they move and attack. So they get 1 attack this round.
Yes.
Firing at the skeletons that are trying to climb over their...
these skeletons. Yeah. The ones that are like in the bulwarks, the watchtowers. And then we'll have guys coming from the flank and guys coming from the front against them. And I think that is all the combat my humans have for us today. I'm just gonna move some other humans into some other places. And that looks good. All right, so we will start with the bows. 1 shot of bowmen, a 2nd shot of bowmen, and this is the half group of bowmen. Your skeletons have 17 AC. Oh god, that cover is gonna...
That's the Blood Knights. Were they shooting Blood Knights?
They're shooting Blood Knights, yeah.
Dummies.
And the Blood Knights have 25% cover.
The 18 is against the Blood Knights?
Yeah, these are all against the Blood Knights. But the Blood Knights have 17 AC plus 2 for 25% cover, bringing them to 19 AC. So
not even that 18 will hit.
No, the hail of arrows pepper the Blood Knights and pass right through them. The clubbers on the side will roll to hit. But a 19 will do it. And
probably, not quite bring it. Is this Blood Knight group at full strength? I thought
they are at full 100% capacity.
I've seen 6. Did 2 die last week? I think that might be the case.
If 2 died, then they should have lower HP.
Yeah, I thought they had taken attacks, but not 2 dead. I don't know.
Did you deploy a group of Blood Knights that only had 2, or that only had 6 instead of?
No. In fact, there should be 1 additional Blood Knight that is back at the estate.
Okay.
So it was 8 and 8 to start.
So they should be at 40 less HP.
I thought. Well, maybe. I don't know. I mean, no HP was down.
Right.
I thought there should have been HP down, but no Blood Knights down, and instead it was reversed.
I do know they've been fighting up there.
They have been fighting. They were gen, but it's like once every... It's basically out of combat, right?
Yeah, I see some spearmen attacks fairly recently that did 39 damage and some bowmen that did 15 damage, and that would have been against the Blood Knights.
With attack rolls greater than 17, yeah.
Natural 20s, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it was down to 6. Okay.
Right, and that's when the Knights did the critical miss on the trellis, the scaffolding. Okay, so I think they've taken 54 damage.
Plus another 40 or whatever they just dealt.
They haven't taken any damage yet. Right?
The
spearmen, right. Yeah.
Clubs, right?
Okay, so clubs, right. So 54 and then minus 39. So they're down to 67 HP, which is 4 Blood Knights remaining. And they will get 6 attacks this round. Last but not least, No, these guys have clubs now. They don't have spears anymore, so there's no point in throwing their clubs at the Blood Knights. That doesn't seem like a good plan. The humans are done. They passed their turn. Where would you like to start on the battlefield?
I don't think much is really going to move, but like these spearmen will move to flank these knights and surround them.
Oh god.
These spearmen will move to the other side of their adjacent archers and set to receive a charge or ready themselves to, to defend them against another cavalry charge. Malcifer is going to use his... Wait, I'm at 20... Yeah, I'm at 21. Okay, so he's going to use his action to consume a bloody bat heart and hold his essence, just so he's ready for a quick escape. And then I think we're just going to start rolling attacks.
Okay.
Let's save the archers for the end, I guess, and do 2 volleys.
Sure.
This group of Blood Knights will attack with weapons. There were 6 at the beginning. They will use their high ground advantage against the spearmen or whatever that are fighting up the staircase.
Right.
Still not enough.
Not good enough.
They only get 1 attack, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. These spearmen over here will attack the knights. That's 8 from the front. 12 is a miss. This group will be from the rear.
Alrighty.
18 should hit. And there's another +1 or +2 on top of that. So 49 points of damage to these surrounded knights.
You drop them to 2 knights left in that group.
All right. And the regular skeletons are going to start piling on themselves and on the pile of bodies, of which there are probably close to 50 or 60 plus the remains of the skeleton ladder, and like climb up the literal skeleton ladder to try and reinforce the Blood Knights on the wall. So what bonuses can I incur on a climb check if you're like climbing up the backs of your allies? Plus all sorts of debris and difficult terrain.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for my document to load. Let's see. So this would be at the very bare minimum, it would be an inward slope for a +2 on the climb check, but I think it's more than that, right? I think at this point there are so many bodies that we could consider at least overgrown.
There's even animated skeletons that can like stand there and like just stand there while another skeleton climbs up its back. Think how easy it is to get on like your friend's shoulders. Right? That seems like a massive bonus to a climb. Like how often do you fail?
Why don't we call it a rope and wall check?
Something that seems fair.
Because they've got good grips, but the wall itself is still pretty slippery. It's still +10. What did we say the DC on this climb check was? Because it's maintained palisade, so it should be -6 +10 for a total of +4.
Yeah.
On your roll.
And I think it was 8 for the skeletons, so we've got it up to 20 +12.
Strength plus dex divided by 3 is for skeletons. 13 plus 8 divided by 3 is 7 plus 4 is 11.
Okay, so 11. I'm looking for a 21, which I hit.
Oh no.
So I think a company of skeletons just like climbs up the wall and mixes with the Blood Knights. I mean, there's only four Blood Knights left. So
how many? Okay.
What's between this is just like a door between the 2 towers?
Right. There's just a gateway. There's no walkway back and forth.
So I think it's only like 4 of the skeletons make it to the top, and 4 are still in process of climbing up, and they'll like get there as maybe skeletons fall or as Blood Knights fall.
That sounds perfect.
But I should be able to make an attack with. Oh, I guess the climb was the turn.
Perhaps. Climbing's an action. Yeah. They climb up this round. What about these other guys over here?
I don't think there's any more room for them to fit, right?
These guys up to here?
Just like,
Oh, okay.
At least with the advantage, right? So I think they're gonna like get in the pile, like get in line, or like form the base of the skeleton ladder. and
Nice.
just wait for the right way to continue climbing. These Blood Knights all move to surround and protect Malcifer. Malcifer's horse, which I guess towers above them, but they sort of circle up, ready attacks. Archer fire. So there's one company of bowmen here that I think are shooting the wall. They're adequately protected by spearmen, so they're shooting 2 volleys at these guys that just exposed themselves over the palisade wall with partial cover or whatever. They're like standing. Yeah. So preference to the archers if it's clear which group is the archers. Here's 1 volley of bow shots is a hit, so 25 damage. Another volley is a miss.
Wait, that 18 is firing at who? These guys?
Archers on the wall. I can't.
These are the only people on the wall, right? These guys are all backed down.
Archers? Where did those archers? Where did the bow shots come from?
They came from behind the wall, right? Since the palisade wall has defenses along the front, but not on the back.
Okay, and they shot at Blood Knights that are up on the palisade. Okay, I see.
Right.
Okay, so then that was just against a regular.
This is the only one that's really visible. These guys are crouching over here.
Yeah,
but
so
their
that's
AC
like
is
a
19.
flank attack with cover.
Yeah, their AC is
+1,
19.
cover
Flank is plus
2.
1. Perfect. It's a hit. Yeah. All right, so they take 25.
25 points of damage. And then there's 2 more companies of archers over here, which I guess will just be against whatever on the wall. Probably on the other. Probably they're more. Oh wait, no. These would if they can shoot the knights. That's probably what happens. So this will be against the wall, and then I'll have one of the companies try and shoot the backs of the knights, who are probably at medium to long range at this point.
Right.
So, it's probably a long shot. So here's a shot at the wall, straight into the palisade. And
terrible.
Yeah, if it weren't directly at a palisade wall, I might suggest some critical misses, but I don't think there's much damage you can do shooting at a wall.
Yeah, pretty much.
These will be back attacks against the charging knights.
They're going to be at long range.
So I think we're probably looking for a 20.
Yeah. Miss.
So those are misses, and I think we are on to the next round, right?
It indeed. Okay, so next round. Let me zoom out for the viewers here. All right, so we are going to start with our mounted knights again. And now that your skeletons are otherwise occupied, they're going to come right back and try and plow through the bowmen behind them. And then, move on from there. I'm just going to leave them here for now.
Yeah, they're probably facing the wrong direction to make like OAs.
Right, and they have bows in their hands, so they can't make OAs anyway.
I meant the spear that they're like gonna clip, but yeah.
And
so they can make an attack roll against archers, who I think just have AC 13. These are, I think, just AC 13. Let me check though. Right. I don't have any. Yeah, leather.
Okay. So everyone else is positioned and ready to go. You can see that the ranks on the wall have been more heavily reinforced. There are spearmen all over the place. Well, what do you call them? Clubbers all over the place now. Mm-hmm. And we'll start with the cavalry, doing another 1d 20 plus 5 on their attack.
So they do.
They will hit
their drive-by in.
8d8 plus 8 for.
There's 4. There's 4 still mounted. Right, it's been cut.
Right. There's 4 still mounted.
It's just a single spear, right, or a single lancer. So
yeah.
There's 4.
So it's going to be 4d8 plus 8 because they do d8 plus 2 damage. Yeah. And swords don't do double on charge.
I don't think they can do a 180 and a charge in the same round, right? So this is just like a lancing. Like the mechanically, can you turn, charge? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they can charge one way, stop and turn around, and charge the other way.
Once around, a lance can zigzag.
They can make sweeping attacks. Yeah, that is the strength of cavalry. Mounted, but they have -1 to AC for being mounted. Is what I'm saying. So the swords will rip into your dudes, doing 33. And then they need to make a saving throw versus paralyzation or be overrun.
Yeah, so they don't get opportunity attacks against the horses because they haven't gone.
They have bows, though. You can't make opportunity attacks with bows.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would be
But then they'll
permitted.
get their bow attacks at the end of the round.
Certainly. Yeah.
Or on their turn. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're getting a save versus paralyzation.
14 or higher on a d20. Ooh,
No.
okay.
So they're scattered, right?
They are knocked
down
prone, and the attacker makes a roll to hit, dealing d4 per size difference. So my horses, because that's who's attacking, roll at +3, I think, to hit.
Are they heavy war horses?
No, they are. Where are my horse lists? Come here, horses. Mammal, small, herd. No, they're under horse, right? They have their own entry.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they are light war horses. They have only +1 to hit. Riding horses have a +3 to hit, and better movement and better HP. So I guess they're riding horses. Who would ever buy a light war horse then?
A riding horse cannot support the weight of a mounted knight.
Riding horse has better
encumbrance.
Riding horse have better encumbrance than light war horses.
Okay. Either way, a light war horse cannot support a knight in armor. A riding horse cannot support a knight in armor.
But I'm saying the riding horse has an encumbrance of 180 before being encumbered, so they would be moderately encumbered, is what we had said, right? Because they're moving at movement speed 18 instead of 24. So they are moderately.
And they moved like 600 feet last round.
800 feet, and that was. Yeah, because their normal movement rate is 24.
And if they're encumbered, they get a penalty at their half speed or whatever. They get a penalty to
hit.
If they're lightly, I don't know which level in encumbrance.
For some reason, animals are full, half, and third. They don't have regular encumbrance. They have like special animal encumbrance.
Oh, sure, but animals normally don't make attack rolls.
Right. So I'm gonna just roll 1d20.
I don't think a riding horse can't. A riding horse can't really. I mean.
Yeah, I guess they gotta be light war horses.
To do an overrun.
Okay. Yeah,
unless they're specialty.
That's a good point. There's no way a riding horse can do an overrun.
I think they might need to be medium or heavy in order to carry a mounted knight. Probably weighs 300 pounds.
Okay, so the light war horses will roll at d20 +1 for their Thaco, +4 because they've knocked the skeletons prone.
Yeah.
And then we'll just see how this comes out. 15 is the number we need.
So a light warhorse is probably half speed and moving at movement rate 12. If you want to upgrade them to a medium, they might be able to support a knight at full speed.
Yeah, I've already had them moving at less than full speed.
Moving at 18 would make them a medium, but
yeah.
I mean, it could be some specialty custom horse. But
I don't know. It's kind of messy. I thought horses would obey regular encumbrance, but now that I'm looking at the table, they have special horse encumbrance apparently.
I mean, what do you mean regular? You want to give them a strength score?
Yeah, it's too messy.
I mean, just make up a stat block, like give them a bonus to hit of +1 to +3.
Yeah. Well, I think that for now, we'll just roll with this, right? This works. Minimum bonus to hit plus knockdown is a hit. And then they should roll...
Wait, what is plus knockdown?
I'm sorry, your skeletons were prone, so the horses get +4 to hit.
No. They're trying to knock the skeletons prone. Oh, no, okay. So the prone goes before the attack? Okay.
Yeah, on a fail, the defender is knocked prone and the attacker makes a roll to hit. So you knock them down and then you trample them with your hooves, right?
Okay. So 15 will hit.
Right.
And
does D4 per size difference.
So riding horses do the D2s, but I guess this is a slightly different rule.
I'm pulling this
1d4. Okay, so just 1d4 times 4 horses.
And
probably
then
times 2 because it's bludgeoning. Yeah.
Right.
So 8 d4s.
8d4 on damage, 21 damage. So 33 and 21 minus 33 minus 21. You're down to 42 HP on that, which is 4 skeletons. And then the Knights did their attack and overrun, and they continue passing on, this side. All right, Knights in between the skeletons are in a tight spot. There's only 2 of them, and they're surrounded by skeletons after being dismounted. If anything ever called for a morale check, this is it. I think this is the most horrifying situation these people could ever find themselves in. They roll a 10, which is not looking good. Let me take a look at Knight morale, because they're going to have some heavy modifiers to the morale. Penalties, I should call them. Where are humans, Knights? Human. Knight morale is 14 plus. Okay. And then morale penalties. Lost 50% of their group is a -4. They are lawful, and they're fighting their hated enemy. I guess the lawful's already included in this book. Yeah. So they lost.
They're against a spellcaster.
They are against a spellcaster.
This is some sorcery if I've ever seen it. This is necromancy.
Defending home is another +3. So it looks this
isn't their home.
spellcaster.
They just got called to their capital city to build an improvised wall that didn't exist.
This is their home. If this place falls, that's GG for the Knights.
Okay.
This is the battle for their home. Yeah, so I think they will pass their morale check just barely. All right.
Okay. There's 2 of them left. Is that what we've got? Fighting back to back, going down swinging.
Yep. And here we go. Sword attack, 2 of them. 18 for 18 damage.
Half damage on a Oh no, slashing is regular, right?
Right.
Piercing was okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So
-18 here. That brings you down to 7 skeletons in that group. Flipping over to the north side of the battle map, we're gonna have spearmen. The half group of spearmen attack. No good, but that would have been beautiful damage. The spearmen trying to push into the Blood Knights. Also no good. And the volleys of archers. 18, 19, and
they have
15.
Half cover. I think
quarter cover. Yeah, the 19's a hit.
Yeah, I think that's their AC with the cover they've got.
Yeah. All right. So that one group will hit for 28, which brings you down to 2 Blood Knights. HP is 20. Yes, brings you down to 2 Blood Knights. But I guess they still get 4 attacks that round. I think those are... Oh, the bowman will get a second volley on your turn. I guess I could take it now, whatever. And last but not least, the Knights are actually going to shift position and come up on the wall and get a look at what's going on over here, trying to survey the land. Okay, I think that's it for the humans. Malcifer's turn.
Yeah, so surely these groups of archers get a chance to shoot at the knights at some point during their charge. They have to declare for the next round, or so these are the archers that fired at the backs of the knights last round, and the knights then whirl around, charge straight past them.
I think
at some point they should be able to get it.
I feel like they can make one shot at short and 1 at long, or 2 at medium. Either they can fire once while the knights are moving in, and then once while they're moving out, or once when they're in, and then once when they're all the way out. Yeah.
So the first volley hits them as they're charging straight towards or past.
Right. So do you want to do?
The second is maybe a back attack at long range. So here's a regular attack at short range.
Perfect. 7's no go.
This group of archers will shoot at the wall. will continue shooting at the wall.
Where at the wall? Are they just shooting the wall itself?
No, they critically missed last round, so that's what they hit. But I think they're just a random group of spearmen on the wall, whichever one is closer.
But the spearmen are ducked down below the parapet, right? You can see their spears above, but they're behind total cover.
Okay. So it's these ones over here that are. I mean, so maybe they're attacking
these
the
guys.
as well.
Okay. Yeah, these guys have half cover.
Are there firing into melee rules?
We have.
It seems like we've been ignoring that.
We have been ignoring that. That's really something we should figure out.
But this is a group of 8. Yeah.
I mean, if your bows were firing this way, it feels like it would be fine. But if they're firing this way, it feels like they might. Why don't we just say on a miss, you roll to hit the skeletons that are in between them?
And I think that should always be the firing into melee rules that we go with, right? I mean,
Sure.
This seems like a pretty normal case. Two groups of melee fighters are engaged. You can't shoot either of them with bow shots unless you risk missing and shooting your...
Right, but it should be maybe not a total miss. Like if your die roll is below a 10, then you would hit something else, right? Because if you roll a 19 against someone with 20 AC, it clearly is deflecting off the armor.
Seems fair, but either way, a 21 should hit and with cover.
Yes, and it will kill that group.
Okay.
But the 7 will... Oh, no, that was against the Knights. Okay. And your other group of bowmen?
I think in response to that, well, I mean, as this is happening, the full 8 that passed their climb check last round will move up onto the wall through the Blood Knights and occupy that space. And I think they can make an attack roll as they move forward and stab with their their spears.
Yep. Oh,
critically missing, but at least they secure the territory. Maybe they a few of them trip over the dead and dying.
In order to respond to these guys coming, these people have to stand up and form against the skeletons, bringing them into the field of view. Otherwise, they're like crouched down. I think they can stand as the skeletons approach.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll like the skeletons are going to continue to pile, so I'll roll another round of climb checks.
D20 plus 11?
Blood Knights.
21 or higher?
Yeah. 27.
Oof.
So the Blood Knights are reinforced, and I think actually the Blood Knights are going to fall back.
Like
maybe
do a
they just press
swap
themselves against the palisade.
Oh god, there's a whole nother group of skeletons up here, Ryan.
Oh, okay? Then maybe I'm. So there should be 2 groups of 8 regular skeletons. Oh no, this is instead.
This group was up here as well. You have
the wounded get like tossed off the wall, or these wounded is at the base working as the ladder.
Okay, so they've come down
the wall to command, but they're not making attacks. Right, they've positioned the regular skeletons at the forefront and given up.
And these are orders you're issuing.
Well, actually, no. This was for Blood Knights. There's also the Mouseker is shouting to the Blood Knights, or like, I'm basically ordering these skeletons climb, scale the walls. Mm-hmm. And actually, this is the 4 Blood Knights, 2 of which are falling. So I think they will make an attack roll. Next round is when like the last 2 will try and get out of there.
Okay.
So let's make the. Yeah, so Blood Knights miss. I think only 4 skeletons can take their place this round. Making a weapon attack for this 4 that's filling in Blood Knights. A miss. Mm-hmm. This group already attacked. Spearman over here can try and finish these 2 knights.
See it?
So this is from a 15, I think from the front will not hit a knight.
Correct.
But a 15 from the back will.
Yes, you will rip into their exposed backs with the spears, cutting them down, and they die.
And then there are second volleys that I get. These bowmen were just overrun. They were knocked prone. They get to their feet at the end of the round, but I think are pretty useless. They kind of flail around. They probably they've dropped their bows, or at least removed their bows. They stand from prone. They've got claws out.
I think picking up their bows is their rest of their turn. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is against the spear on the wall, second volley. An 18 should hit with wall cover, right?
19 is the number you're looking for. 15 AC plus 4 for 50% cover from the palisade.
15 AC. So they've got shields.
Shields and leather.
Leather. Yeah. 15, 4 for the wall. All right. So
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
50%
that
cover.
Missed. And then this is like a long shot against the knights. Back attack, long range. I still think it's got to be a 20. Does a 19 hit? let's do the math.
19 minus 5 is a 14.
They have 17 AC. Can they shield and lance at the same time?
They cannot shield on back attacks, bringing their AC from 17 to 15. They're mounted, which brings it to 16. Long range is minus 5. So they will have 17 minus 2 is 15, minus 1 for being mounted is 14 AC. And you rolled 19.
And 5 is the long range, so 19 is the number to hit, I think.
Yeah, you hit.
So I think that's 29 points of damage to the backs of these charging knights.
You take one down.
And I think that is the end of this round. Let's see. No, I think the safest place for Malsfer to be is probably in the center of his army. In future battles, it may be wise to sit on a hill and overlook it, but we're too deep into things here. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the end of our round. You may have one volley of bow shots
my archers
waiting,
and they will be changing their targets to these guys, which don't have any cover from allied units. So they will go 8. 15 will hit regular skeletons, but they do half damage since it's piercing. So 29 divided by 2 is going to be 14. The next volley is 8, which will still hit for 15, 16, 17. And then the half volley.
These are regular skeleton. Yeah, I think they only have 13 AC.
The half volley misses. Okay. Knight's turn. Human's turn. It ain't looking good for our human friends. They are ostensibly looking bad, even. So what they are going to do, let me give them one more bravery check. Oh, flying fucking colors. So as you've noticed, the humans have all gathered along the wall. Before they had like stepped down and backed off and tried to have a minimal presence on the wall with a maximum presence in the yard, but now they are all on the wall. And what they're gonna do is try and hop off the wall and charge into the fray.
I was even thinking about Malsfer making eye contact and taunting them, but it seems like that's not even necessary. He just kind of watches as these knights climb down the palisade wall.
Oh, it's not just the knights.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They come down the walls, and they will do their best to engage.
That must have been a hell of a morale check.
The natural 7 on the die.
So I think to safely dismount from a palisade wall should require like an athletics type, like a strength check or a dexterity
I can
check.
get behind that.
Because it's like a 15-foot fall, right?
It's a 15-foot fall. You can lower and drop.
Lower yourself safely. But if you're trying to lower and drop and then charge into battle,
and there's a whole bunch of people and there's bones everywhere. I agree with that.
Right. So like either they do it safely and don't, and that's their action, or they include it in their movement and they have to make some sort of strength or dexterity based
cool. So these
athleticism.
are fairly regular people. Most of them are, I would say, laborers. So they'll have probably like 12 or 13 strength. I'll just roll a 50-50 to see which one it is. They're gonna have 12 strength, and then we'll just say a strength check to get down successfully.
And if they fail, they maybe take d6 falling damage, or they decide to not attack, or like they decide to I don't know.
I think the situation, since these are not all trained warriors, right? Most of these are levies. Is that they will, if they fail, they're taking their time to get down, and they can't act this round. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 levies that are doing this.
Probably better.
Yeah. So I'm going to do 8d20. They need to roll if they have 12, they need a 9 or better.
Higher.
Yeah.
So greater than 8.
And then I'll just go from left to right in order of the blue duties. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first one didn't make it, so these guys lower, and that's all they can do. And the fourth one, so 1, 2, 3, these guys lower, but that's all they can do. And the knights, the regular knights, are going to be
like 15 strength or something like that.
1d20 plus 15. They can do it, no problem. Okay, so these guys close here and here on the left. On the right, the right is scary. We're gonna close to here, and here, and here. Actually, why don't we do? Oh, these guys are positioned fairly awkwardly. I want to get these guys in on the side. Is this legit? This flanking attack here?
I
right.
don't.
We'll just do this
it.
then. Okay.
This is basically a line of archers.
Right.
Well, I mean, this spear was shooting at the wall. This one was attacking knights as they drove by.
This will work for me. Then
they can go and engage the spearmen from the side or something like that. But...
They're trying to avoid the spearmen. They're trying to go for the non-spearmen first.
Yeah. They can get. Yeah, okay. They can get a flank on this group of regular skeletons, I think.
Yeah. These guys are going to come through the middle and just like attack these folks over here.
They can't get through the doorway.
It's piled with corpses?
It's piled with corpses and the broken ladder. The doors were shut, maybe open, cleared by the knights.
The doors got knocked down by zombies.
Oh, yeah.
But they can do 20 feet in a minute, right?
Yeah, if they clear the way, yeah. Move through difficult terrain or whatever, clear a path. And,
it's difficult terrain. They can power through that 20 feet eventually.
Yeah.
And then the knights... Oh god, I don't want them to go after the Blood Knights because that's doom for them. But what else can they do?
Right, with that heroic morale check, I think they, in one last-ditch effort, they jump off the wall and run right for the evil necromancer that's sieging their walls.
The necromancer is mixed with Blood Knights, and even though these are like side by side, I think it's like frontal attacks against each other. Right? They move in, the Blood Knights turn to face them. Yeah. But they're like, they're still in your square. You're still protected by them. Sort of something like this, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so starting on the left with this guy, all 8 of them will attack and botch it. It took a lot out of them to get over the wall, and now they're wildly exposed, and it's a little bit scary. We haven't done our horses yet. I'll just finish all of these and do the horses at the end. The 2 people fail miserably and get nowhere. On the wall against the skeletons, we got 8, and a 10 is a miss. Low ground coming up against the skeletons, 16 will hit for 41, killing all but 1 skeleton. The guys that burst through the door are making
attacks.
Are
spears, right?
They've changed to clubs, right? They're ready for the skeletons.
Okay, so they're still 2d4 damage. Yeah.
So they will make their attack against the regular skeletons on the ground and hit for 40. The knights will attack the Blood Knights. Come on, guys, you can do it. Ooh. They get a lucky hit for very average damage.
Blood Knight, right?
That is 1 Blood Knight goes down, yes. So minus 26, only 7 Blood Knights left. Against this guy, we got the people from the top. Miss. We got the guys from the flank. They'll be rolling at +1 to hit. So a 13 will hit for 38 damage, felling all but 2 skeletons, I believe. Yes. And against the skeleton warriors, Ooh, miss. And against the other skeleton warrior bowman, hit for 39. And 39 is going to be 3 dead, I believe. Yeah. Leaving us with... Where's my button? Leaving us with 5. And last but not least, we have the horsemen, which are coming right here. There are only 3 of them, but they're going to come against... Oh, do they want to do that? They do want to go against the bows. Where are the available bows? Maybe we can just charge over...
There aren't really. I mean, they're way over here there are.
Yeah. I think that's the solution, is to plow
they can
into
do like a pincer maneuver or whatever. Like,
they're going to plow into these bowmen right here, and I think they'll have to come to a stop because they can't... yeah, if they overrun, they will charge through their... Well, there's only 3 of them. This is a big token, but there's only 3 knights.
Yeah, it still looks like the straight line. I mean, I was thinking they could get through this gap.
Okay,
maybe.
That's fair.
Like a full spear of knights can't get in there for a flank, but 3 horses...
3 horses in a line, one after another.
Easily, yeah.
Okay, so they will make their 1d20 plus 5 for the attack. 6 with flanking is not going to make it. So they miss their attack, but they get their Saber's paralyzation or be knocked down.
Yeah. E20 greater than... These are warriors, so they have better... Do they have better saves, or are they still the 14?
No, this is the same as the last one, 14. Yeah, because last time they were overrunning warriors too.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so they are not overrun. And I think the horses, like the bowmen split enough that the horses go between them and just ride out without doing anything.
Yeah, they're like switching from bows to claws probably, and yeah, they don't get an opportunity attacks or whatever, but...
Oh boy. I'm just gonna move these guys to the side for ease of understanding where everyone is. And last but not least, our archers. Have I already done my archers? I think I started off with archers.
The archers are on the other side of the wall. They can shoot at the few remaining skeletons up here.
Yeah,
right?
They already made their attacks at the beginning of the round, though. Okay.
Okay.
They will get second attacks at the end. Oh, they didn't get second attacks at the end of last round? They didn't make second attacks at the end of your round last game. I think it's just better...
I thought I told you had extra shots.
I think you did. Then maybe I didn't do them... Either we did it at the end of your round and I didn't do it at the beginning of this round, or vice versa, because if I scroll up, I only see recent bowmen. I think it...
Okay.
Because I keep forgetting, do you mind if I just make all my bowman attacks at once, and you too? It just seems less complicated. Because everyone survives to do their damage anyway, so the order of operations doesn't really matter. So I'll just do second attacks for bowmen here. They will do 8, which miss... Oops, not 88, just 8. That's gonna be 12 plus 1 for flanking, maybe?
But they've got cover. Oh, not on the inside of the wall?
Not on the inside, yeah. I think plus 1 for flanking will work, but I have to re-roll that damage because there's not 800, there's not 88 of them. 30 damage, which will finish these guys off.
Piercing, which will reduce by 2 to 15.
15. Oh, that's right. Okay, that's not quite dead.
I think that 6 needs to be resolved as an attack against this adjacent group of clubmen.
I think you're right as well.
So make an attack roll to see if they fire in the melee.
They will
also
15 flanking. That'll hit. Yeah. So their missile. Oh god, their missile fire is like this. Can you see the whole arrow? Yeah, I guess that's still close enough. Like, these guys back here might clip into the back of a few regular soldiers.
Have shields, their AC is actually 15, right?
Their AC is 15, but I was giving them flanking. A flanking attack.
Which would reach a 15.
Yeah. I think so. I think the peasants are getting a little bit wild, and they realize there's skeletons inside of those humans that we should be careful of, that are just waiting to get out.
So I think just this whole engagement just gets peppered with arrows. Skeletons go down.
And there's one other bowman that has a clear shot with only 4, and they just miss, but they're just firing this way. You know, there's no one in the way to be shot at. Okay,
right.
And that is the end of the human's turn. Malcifer's turn.
All right, skeletons. So we're starting up on the wall. How many were left at the beginning? I'm seeing 8, but it's not 8. It should have been full 8, no? And they all died this round?
Which ones?
I
The
think
top
that
of the
must
wall?
be true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not enough to hit. This is 1 skeleton. How did that? Did it start as 1 or did it start as 8? Must have started as 1.
Which one? I'm sorry. I was timing people
This
out in chat
on the
for
top
pretending to
on the
place-
top of the wall.
It started as 8 at the beginning of the round. Yeah.
Yeah. Oops, not 80.
This one only
Could've
has
missed
1 though.
less.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering.
Oh yeah. This guy has 1, and it did at the beginning.
I thought another group had climbed up to fill that spot, but I guess they died since then. I don't know. Okay, this group down here on the base against that wounded group of skeletons, or wounded group of regular guys, 30 damage. It's probably enough to finish them.
These guys over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that drops them down.
This group of spear. I think
Bows?
spears.
Spears?
It says bows.
It doesn't say.
Is this a group of forgotten bowmen? I think if it doesn't say, they're bowmen.
Oh no.
So I guess we had a group of bowmen that wasn't making any attacks. But I don't know. I can just say they pick up. I mean, they're the same soldiers anyways, so they can have picked up spears on the battlefield and be doing that instead. Spears are probably spears of fallen skeletons. It's probably most likely. So 16 should hit for 55 points of damage.
Yep, and that will wipe out an entire group immediately. Oh god, they shouldn't have hopped over the wall. They thought they could collapse and surround and destroy.
This group of warriors will come and join the fray, charging with spears or rushing with spears.
13's not going to
do
do it.
What if charge is +2, right?
Charge is
Charging
+2.
was the first thing I said.
Can skeletons charge?
That was a straight line. Oh, I guess they can't run really. So
Yeah.
I think that was just okay.
Yeah.
But this second group can move 140 feet and still attack, right?
They have movement rate 14, so they can definitely go 140 feet and still attack, yeah.
Missing.
Woo!
Even with the flank. This group that was once archers pick up the swords and shields of the fallen knights they've slain. I don't think they'll be ready for any action this round, but they re-equipped.
Okay.
These archers here, I think, have just turned tooth and claw against the skeletons, or against
Talk about these guys?
Against the soldiers, yeah. So this group of skeleton warriors on the top, 12, I think, is a miss.
It is. 14's a miss.
Not. This group of this is spearmen who can circle around. Oops, that wasn't. But circle around and get a back attack here. 19 will do it. 48 points of damage.
That's exactly their HP. You cut into them, ripping them to shreds.
I think this 2 remaining was a full group at the start of the round.
Oh god, they should have stayed inside. They should have stayed inside. 13's not going to hit.
A miss. This will be a flank against the knights. In fact, they could actually go for a full-on surround, right? I'm trying to rotate this token.
Yeah. They don't have any. I guess you're right next to them, so you can get them to surround.
Either they turn. I mean, they can turn around in response, or they. But I think they stay facing the Blood Knights.
Yeah.
10 is the miss.
Miss. Woo!
The Blood Knights will attack from the front with a crit.
Oh,
it's over, Neal.
They're not dead, actually. That doesn't kill them. It leaves one knight remaining.
Who Malcifer will attempt to execute from horseback, drawing his bardish. The poltergeist immediately is conjured or whatever, but like ducks and hides in the shadow of the palisade wall some 60 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, +1 for horseback, +2 for level. Let's see if Malcifer can execute one of these knights and harvest his soul. I don't think an 11 does it. I think Malcifer, the Lord of Winter, is whirling his bardish from back of his nightmarish steed, but to no avail. Yes. Bring me sacrifices, Malspur demands of his adjacent skeletons. This group here doesn't really, I guess they can go charging this direction. Not charging, rushing this direction. One last flank of spears, 23 points of damage to, I think that's going to be like this one right there.
Alrighty. Minus 23, leaving him at 5 remaining. Okay, is that the end of Mel's first turn?
That is.
Human's turn. Well, the battle has gone poorly. They thought the sallying out, they could just wrap around all the skeletons and pick them off. Turns out they were wrong. These knights over here on the far right, they don't turn around and come back. They're gone. They leave. They're done. These guys are deadsies. We can just get rid of them. These guys are deadsies. These guys are deadsies. Okay. Oh, these guys are deadsies.
There's
too.
only one knight standing, right? Is that what you just said?
Yes.
And he's currently surrounded by skeletons who are trying to grab him so that he can be used as a living human sacrifice.
Yeah, but these are heroic morale checks. He rolls another 6. Last time we did morale, they rolled a 9 and passed. I don't think the bonuses have changed for an additional penalty of 4. Is there another penalty of 4 in here somewhere? Outnumbered 3-1?
Make your stand, hero.
Make your stand. All right. Well, the sole remaining knight.
But I think do his troops fight? I don't think his troops get his morale. I think they make the shitty morale checks.
Absolutely.
With a bonus maybe for his leadership.
The one knight doesn't do anything. All right. I'm going to start doing some of these a little bit more individually since the groups are broken. These guys on the side. Oh, they botch and fail. I think this turns into a pure rout where they just they see like an escape this way. And so they flee and immediately get cut to pieces as your skeleton warriors make attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, that's not going to be pretty.
These are not unsullied.
45.
These are very sullied.
50, that's nasty.
I mean, they're left standing and walking on the ends of spears that are like lifting them up from behind. They're cut to ribbons. This group that sallied out of the gate, does pretty well. They hold their shit together. This group next to the sally does even better. They're brave. They're ready to fight. So they will move to here.
Flank the Blood Knights or reinforce support their leader. Yeah, they can flank these.
Oh, they're coming straight for the easy ones, the low threat. Yeah. They're still levy. These guys, 9 on the morale check. Let's do some quick modifiers here. Not abandoned by friends. Their group is full. Let's see. Fighting hated enemy is +4. Opposed by spellcasters is a penalty of 2. Defending home is +3. Let's see.
More than half their army has been lost.
More than 50% of the group is lost is -4. Outnumber spellcaster ally. They do not have any spellcaster allies. Which is surprising nobody has asked about. So they have a +1 to the morale. So I think a 9 is going to be a pass for them. So they'll stay. These guys right here.
There was at least one wizard on the island who is now serving the armies of the dead.
And this guy
there
is
are a couple of priests that have fallen, clerics.
So these guys break and run. The others will stay and fight with surprising morale checks. Up on the walls, I don't think they need to make morale checks because they still have walls for them. Because they're still in a good defensible position. Next round, after they see everyone die, they'll definitely need to make them.
So they can make attacks against
these
pair of Blood Knights that are now left exposed on the wall.
Yeah, there's 2 Blood Knights and 1 regular skeleton. So this group, the group of 4 is going after the regular skeleton and misses, and the group of 8 is going to go after the Blood Knights. Ugh, and also miss. The grounded gentleman. This group of 2 and this group of 3, can we merge them into one group of 5?
Yeah, sounds good.
Plus 14 and plus 3, and then I'm just gonna remove this other group from play. Alrighty. So these guys will battle those guys. 10 is not gonna be good enough. The knights, the clubbers above, not gonna be good enough. These clubbers, not good enough. These guys against the flank. 12 plus, no, you're facing each other. That's not going to be good enough either. Oh my god, all the attacks. All the attacks. And the knights in the middle of everything. Already made their attacks at the very beginning of the round.
Yeah.
Yep.
His attack, yeah.
His singular. His. I don't know. Let's give it a roll. Right. His attack. It's an old man knight, actually. He's the eldest of all the knights. It's the, what do you call him? Barristan. Like, he's not making his attacks. He's too badly wounded.
Let's resolve his story first, because he's the most interesting, right?
Yeah.
You might have archers to fire, or do they break and fall back on the other side of the wall?
Oh, that's true. The archers can fire. Yes. Although, I don't know if they want to keep firing into their allies.
Yeah, there's like 2 Blood Knights left surrounded by their allies. So they'll probably hold their fire or something.
Okay. So, instead, because they can't see over the wall, they will spend their turn climbing to the wall, looking over, seeing the horrific sights beyond, and then immediately making a morale check. Fail. Pass. Pass. So this group flees and bolts.
Okay. This group of skeletons is going to attempt to capture and restrain this knight, who maybe gets attacks of opportunity as we resolve like an overbear or something.
I suppose, yeah.
They just need to hit his AC 10. I mean, with a back attack.
He has a shield. 10 plus shield.
What if they try to grab his shield and grab him?
I guess the shield's attached to him,
so that Pinespur gets a bonus to rip his soul out.
All right, go ahead. Make your grapple.
I don't know what it's probably like. It's a miss.
It's a miss, and the knight gets a counter attack. 1d20 plus 3 is a critical miss.
Okay. Let's just see if Mousefer can get lucky. 14 is no-go. I think the Blood Knights probably just skewer him. They're not going to risk provoking OAs. They're too well trained for that. Or too... Yeah, I think...
Oh, that's... Goodbye.
How much damage is that? For some reason,
42 damage over their 18 HP.
Yeah, he's not even available for sacrifice.
No.
Yeah, all right. This group of 5 skeletons. I think this is just a head-on attack, right? You don't need to worry about flanks. It's a miss. These few down here. That is a hit. Why? Roll 20 tooltip is all glitched out. Let me refresh roll 20 really quick. Okay, not tool. There's like a tooltip popped up, like showing me the status of the roll, and it won't go away. So it's covering the dialogue.
I know that. I have encountered that bug. Feature for the really important tooltips.
So that was the group of like 2 skeletons or whatever off to the side. I didn't get to see what the damage roll was, but I think it was a hit, correct?
4 damage. 4 damage. Which was it? Right. Which group of skeletons was it?
Wherever there was a group of 2 skeletons off to the right somewhere. I'm now getting back into it.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see it. Okay. 4 damage. Woo!
Okay.
This is not 20. This human army is not the greatest army ever assembled to fight the undead. This is the holy shit, they're at our gates, let's just put spears in the hands of everyone and hope it goes well.
Clubs.
Here's some clubs. Here's some clubs, because the spears aren't working.
Got that far. They could use a few priests.
Yes, they could use priests and wizards, and there ought to be priests and wizards here, yet you haven't seen any.
Their gods have abandoned them. 14, I think, is a miss. 21 will do it, though. 56 damage from this group of skeleton warriors. Actually, that's regular. Wait. We can say that was this group of skeleton warriors.
Okay,
because
that is
claws. I think the archers are picking up the weapons of the fallen.
Right,
and
okay.
equipping themselves. So this group picks up the weapons. This group of archers maybe just engages with... they can do the same. They're collecting weapons. Off on the left flank. There's really not much to do. I guess they'll just reinforce. So here's a group of swordsmen that I think can get in on the action. So it's only 4 with long swords. It's the wrong... D8's right. It's a miss. These poor confused bastards. I don't know. I don't think there's anything for them to really do. What action would they take? They're probably fine. They'll start forming up. Maybe collecting, collecting the dead. I mean, maybe if they're dying amongst the ranks, the specialists are collecting them. And like dragging dead bodies towards Malcifer.
Undoubtedly, there are plenty of
dying bodies.
Characters here who don't have 6 HP, but might have 7 and are like mortally wounded and rolling back and forth on the ground, screaming in agony. There are plenty of bodies.
Yeah.
And of the dying, but not quite dead.
Yeah. Bring me the dying.
All right.
They're, yeah.
Okay, next round. It's the heroic last stand for the humans. We're going to start with these guys in the middle. Terrible morale roll. 18 on the die, because morale lower is better. Botch for these people as well. These guys, no, that's it. This becomes just a bloody rout as they try and run back in, but there's a pile of bodies and it's difficult terrain and they're slipping and clawing over each other. The battle, we don't need to play out the end of it. It's just going to fade out as the humans fall apart and flee.
They break, they run.
The rout is real.
Living and dying are brought before Lord Winter. How many sacrifices are made on this day? Maybe another 10 or so? 9 over the...
15.
Takes 10 minutes for the maimed to bleed out.
15 more you can find amongst the dead and dying.
Did you care to roll for years?
Yes. You can get 89.3 years out of these people.
89?
89.3 years.
Oh, the sweet, sweet years. Malcifer drinks, eats, feasts upon the souls of the soldiers of Pinespur.
There were some very young soldiers in this army. There were a couple of children.
89.3?
Yes, there were some children soldiers amongst this group, and they made it out somehow, dropping their weapons early and trying to hide under the dead when Malcifer sniffs them in the air and finds their hearts still beating.
Or the skeletons sniffed them out. I think the dead eventually. I think they break the wall, right? Or like the defenders flee and the skeletons climb over the palisade and clear the way for the Lord of Winter to enter Pinespur.
Over and through. On the inside, there will be very minor skirmishes here and there as proud husbands and wives defend their children in their homes. There might be a few more losses of little skeletons here and there, but you'll rip through any defenders that might exist. At least through the majority of town. The final keep at the very back of everything, butted up near to the lake itself, might hold out. The sheriff and whatever personal guards and final bodyguards he has will be somewhere in that region, but they will have limited supplies.
That next time.
Yes.
We need to do our body counts and update spreadsheets.
Yeah, we do, but there's one more final thing I want to have happen before we get there. Is
Yes.
While you're dead are picking through the streets and ravaging and cutting down anyone who resists, through the dead walks a woman that the dead just seemingly ignore and don't bother.
Mouse foresees this. Should I roll a perception check or something?
Oh, yeah, she's coming down the main street, walking in your direction, and your skeletons just aren't looking at her.
Yeah. Does she have? Is she armed or adorned with the vestments of any gods or arcane orders?
She is not. She looks like a minor noble lady.
Mm-hmm. Unless, you haven't had me roll anything, but unless she is perceived as a threat.
I mean, your undead are ignoring her. Is that not a threat right there?
It's curious. I think Malsifer will meet with her unless she's bearing arms or adorned with some sort of holy symbol or begins casting a spell, right? I think she just starts walking through the undead towards Malsifer. He turns and sees her and sizes her up and checks her. How far off is she when
I think you spot her at 100 feet or so. It takes a while for her to move through the ranks, and the ranks bodies will block your viewpoint.
So that's like shouting distance. Malsifer, flanked by his honor guard of 7 remaining blood knights, probably Maud dripping with fresh blood, mounted atop a nightmare. Turns to face this curious woman. What are you, witch?
She gives you a smile and says something. Not quite, but close enough. Your spiritual brother sends his regards and wishes you good luck and good fortune in your conquest of this island.
There, those of the old bloods still are still in Pinespur?
No.
Still in Gadia?
Well,
No.
one, she says, looking at you.
Has she
and
gotten,
produces.
has she continued walking, or was this a
She
shouted
stops at
conversation?
a slightly more than reasonable distance, like a 15-20 foot talking range.
Okay.
Respecting your personal space.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she will take a bag that you've noticed on her back and dump it, and heads fall out. More heads than would actually fit in a bag that size. I think Malsifer instantly recognizes some sort of extra dimensional space or some sort of magic at work here as she...
Yeah, magic at work. Malsifer is not he's not a wizard in the traditional sense.
Fair enough.
He doesn't have any spellcraft proficiency or anything like that.
Out rolling onto the ground before you are 5 or 6, maybe 7 heads. And she smiles and bows, puts the bag, tucks the bag away behind her, and goes to walk around you and through the gates and out the other side.
Malsifer rears the the reins on his nightmare. I guess it doesn't even have reins, does it?
Does not.
Does not have reins. So I think the animal, through its telepathic link to its master, turns and rears, and Mousefur watches as she walks out the front gates of the city. Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably wondering if what she was, if that was a vision or some divine being or did she have any equipment? Like, can you describe her person? Was she in black witchy robes? Did she have a backpack?
No, she was wearing a black and white dress, like black with a little bits of white trim and frill over it, a corset with long poofy sleeves on it, a small golden necklace around her, maybe not golden, but bronze or brass necklace around her neck. Fairly common earrings, nothing too fancy, but she did have the dress of a lowish noble or medium level noble, something like that.
Yeah. What does my detect spirits ability do? It just detects spiritual energy. So it doesn't detect living creatures. It detects stray spirits, right? It detects undead or other sources of spiritual energy.
Life force is strongly attracted to spiritual force, will flow in the direction of the strongest, closest source of spiritual energy in the ethereal material planes, including any undead or enchantments made of at least 1 year of spiritual force. Yeah, so if she were undead and you were to cast
or
this,
if she were a necromancer with a spirit armor active,
right.
But other sources of
Yeah, the only issue is that you are in and amongst your whole army of undead.
So she would have to be the strongest.
Right, and so this, it would spread out. You sort of shred your physical life and spread it and just see what spiritual force it attracts to. And there's so much out there right now that in this maul and confusion, I might have to make you make an intelligence check or a perception check or something to see if it would work on her. And it takes 1 HP to cast.
I guess this will be worth a year of an HP.
Yeah.
I think this will be worth an HP to check. So I'll subtract 1 HP from 18 to 17. I can probably find a victim and regain that life force. But and then you said a perception check to sniff her spiritual energy as she walks by. Is a 24, which is a pass. So I think if she has any spiritual energy about her,
she certainly does.
Yeah. So okay. Would I recognize it? Is it okay, she's got a spirit armor up just like I do, or is it Mousefur takes her for a?
I don't know if you're going to be able. There's too many undead near you, right? You've got your spirit armor up. You're on your undead horse. You've got your 7 blood knights all around you, and then your armies around that. So I think you can see there's some spiritual stuff going on there, but you can't distinguish exactly what it is.
You catch a whiff of strong spiritual energy, right? Am I inclined to believe that she's more powerful than, say, my level 5 blood knights?
Ooh, I don't know if. Well, maybe. Or
comparable. Yeah.
Maybe. She's definitely not, basic skeleton strength, but she also didn't attract everything. So I think it's going to be pretty gray.
As she's just leaving earshot, Mousefur shouts, "What is your name, mistress?"
She will turn.
Is this conversation all in common, all in Eridonian, or is this in the old tongue?
This is in Eridonian. Yeah.
Okay.
She will reply with my name or the name of my master. I am Helena. I serve Lord Vicious.
Bum, bum, bum. And I think she walks into the... disappears out of the village, out the gate, into the woods, never to be heard from again.
Hopefully.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe this is hopefully. If the realms of mortal men are lucky.
Yeah. And as you come across the heads that she decapitated, you'll see that some are the female head has like earrings with Martha symbols dangling off of them. One of the male heads has like a tattoo of a stare on the back of his neck. The others may not have specific adornments, but I think Malsifer gets the impression that these were probably spellcasters in the area. Clerics and maybe wizards. Yeah. And we'll leave it there for the day.
Sweet.
Our nice short Dicing with Death session. We will hopefully be back next week with more Dicing with Death, depending on
it seems
everything.
In case you didn't realize, dear viewers, you were all part of this elaborate test stream, whatever you call it, internet stress test. It worked. You passed. Yeah, so it seems like internet here is stable enough to stream. In fact, it's almost too good. There's not enough cam lag. I think I need to call up tech support. Yeah. See if we can crank up that latency.
Alrighty.
Got any shout outs, any announcements?
GTC's happening later tonight, and tomorrow we'll have Rise of the Dragon Queen, and Friday we will have Akuba Nights, and Saturday we'll have Shenanigans. Nothing on Sunday. Let's see. Also, there are a few more slots open on the Patreon if anyone wants to join in on our Shenanigans games on Saturday. And I think my schedule is about to open up.
That's new, right? For a while, the Shenanigans Patreon tier was filled.
Yes, but I'm opening up some more slots because most of our patrons can't make most games. So we always have a lot of extra room. So we're opening up some extra slots for that.
There's always room in Shenanigans.
Yeah. And I think my schedule might be freeing up another game in the near future. More announcements on that later. But that means if I might be shopping around for a new campaign. Maybe. We'll see. So if anyone wants a campaign, let me know. All right. Ryan, anything that you want to say?
No. Thanks for watching.
All right. Yeah. See you next time.
Yeah. Catch you later. Bye-bye.